YouTube page, probably later today or by this weekend, in case you missed some of it or have to leave early. Any pressing questions throughout the holidays, how to stay active before we get started, go ahead and add it to the chat. Otherwise, I think we'll get going. So let me share my screen so you can see my presentation. No working out today, guys, just some slides. I've got about 10 PowerPoint slides, and I'd like to make it a little bit more interactive and action-based. So I want you to be able to take something from this, and I'll have to, let me see if I can do this. Spotlight me, there we go. Cool. All right. I'll go back and share. Sorry about that. So I want you to be able to do something actionable today, meaning that I want you to put it on your calendar or to be able to take one of these 6 tips that I have for you today and be able to put it into action. All right. So this is a breakdown of what we have going on today, all the slides, a quick preview. And basically, you know, I don't know what the holidays means to you, but to me, it means family, friends, food, festivities, lights. And the time period for me personally, I found out that it really starts now, like Halloween, because all the candy, right? And getting out and getting dressed up. But if the holidays mean something to you, go ahead and chime in, or if you celebrate a certain holiday that you want to share, I'd be happy to hear about it. So I would say, you know, Halloween through New Year's is probably the time frame that I have, but online there's really nothing that says, you know, it's like Thanksgiving, the start of the holidays, or Christmas to New Year's. It's really depends on you. So welcome. You're in the holidays, and hopefully you can stay active. I know this could be a pretty challenging time of year to stay active, so hopefully you're able to take a tip from today and implement it for your activity and fitness routine throughout the holidays. So number 1, plan ahead. Treat your workouts like social events or work meetings and schedule them on your calendar. So for me, I was just talking to Zofia about this, and twice a week I've got workouts lined up Monday and Thursday with coworkers, and it's the same time every week. This way I know what I'm getting into. And we stick to the same routine, believe it or not, and over time we're able to see that we're able to progress and adapt, which are good things from the fitness terms if you're looking to get stronger. And there's also the social aspect there, right? We're able to socialize, build our friendship, and get out of the house now that we're vaccinated. So it's really nice, and it's enlightening. All the eating and get-togethers, yes, totally, Zofia. Social drinking, yes, major challenge. Yep, I hear it. So definitely some hurdles throughout the holidays. I was just talking to one of my clients about how we still have the jack-o'-lantern sitting in the middle of our kitchen full of Halloween candy. So last year we had a better strategy. I think this year it's kind of dragging on because we're each grabbing a candy before dinner when we get hungry. Last year we tried all of them and threw out the ones that we didn't like, and it was done in one day. So I think that was a pretty good strategy last year. Let me know if you've got a good strategy for all the Halloween candy. Type it into the chat or go ahead and chime in. Right. So yeah, take 2 minutes right now. Go ahead and message someone that you think would make a good workout partner. It could be your spouse. It could be a friend, a coworker, to maybe go for a walk or get a workout in. But take 2 minutes and plan a quick workout, or it could be just doing, you know, one of our Q Fitness classes that we have on our schedule, a Zoom class. Or you can schedule a personal training session. Another good idea. I hear Qualcomm may be getting a good fitness coaching or personal training incentive is on top of the fitness coaching incentive in 2022. So check that out. All right. Moving on. And if you feel more comfortable working out outside, maybe that's for you. This is a great photo of maybe someone in Boston or New Jersey or Colorado. I don't know the last time we had snow here in San Diego. I know we've gotten some hail and some sleet, but go ahead and chime in into the chat if you're logged in from a city outside of San Diego, or if you're logged in from Santa Clara. This way we have a good idea of where you're at. And then in the quotes there, I've got, it is through the light that the beauty of this world is revealed or experienced. Because if it was dark, we wouldn't be able to see anything. And I believe through vision, we take in about 70% of our sensory, says Dr. Andrew Huberman, the Huberman podcast, right? I think Sophia is familiar with that one. Yep. So a lot of times throughout the holidays, we put up our lights, and it creates a very cheerful mood, and it also allows you to see a little bit more at nighttime. My neighbors put up lights, and I was like, oh, they beat me to the Christmas lights, and then I realized they celebrate Diwali, and they had their lights up already, so it's very nice to see that. Right. So set a goal. Another tip for you here. You don't have to wait for the new year to start smashing your goals. Just be sure to keep them realistic. The holidays aren't the best time for achieving a big fitness goal. Set weekly goals. So for me, during the week of Thanksgiving, I know that, Thanksgiving Day, I'm going to be making dinner and cleaning the house and maybe doing some yard work. So that day, I'm already doing a lot of activity, like between cleaning and yard work, that I don't really like to schedule a workout in, unless if I feel like my mood really needs it, and I'll probably do one later in the day, or I'll just save it for the next day. But yeah, it takes a lot of energy to host if you are hosting, so just keep that in mind. So for your action, go ahead and write it on paper, what your goal is. Keep it short term, or weekly goals if you'd like. And you can even map it out throughout the holidays, because I know say Christmas hits or Thanksgiving hits and things kind of droop down. Maybe your goals go from exercising 5 or 6 times per week down to 3 or 4, and that's fine, as long as if you stay active throughout the holidays. That's a big plus for a lot of people. For me, I'll share a quick story about the holidays. I took 2 weeks off, I think it was 5 years ago, and it was so hard getting back into exercise after that I'll never do that again. I'll take like a week to recover, then keep it kind of recreational. But I'm not going to take 2 weeks off where I'm just kind of hanging around the house and not doing much, just because it took so much to get back into it and to feel like I was in any kind of shape. So a rule of thumb is if you go more than 12 days, you could lose as much as 50% of your VO2 max. So 12 to 21 days, most people lose 50% of their VO2 max. So that's a pretty astounding number. I mean, that's only 2 weeks, and you could go from being able to run 10 miles to only being able to run, say, 5 miles. Pretty crazy. Yeah. All right. Back to that running outside. Different environments are good for the mind and good for your spirit. Maybe you take a different running trail, or do a different hike in San Diego, or take a different class. Give it a try. Let me know if you have any favorites. For me, I was just in Hawaii, and it's a great way to kind of feel revived by going someplace a little bit different, maybe take a little vacation. For my wife and I, we didn't go away for a long time. It was 4 or 5 days, and feeling refreshed. You could see I have a little tan, I think. Got some color, maybe some more freckles. All right. Yeah, so back to setting goals. So for my week of Thanksgiving, it'll be like Thanksgiving Day, very flexible, maybe a workout, but I know cleaning the house is going to count as my exercise or activity for the day. And then Friday, I'll do something recreational with the family. And then Saturday or Sunday, I like to do something more intensive. And then Sunday, I'll probably take a day of rest and just clean up around the house. All right. Check on the chats here. Any chats in the chat box there, Sophia or Donna? Any questions? Nothing? Okay, cool. All right. So
we had one person just say that Zulfi is here today, and he's in Santa Clara, San Jose area, and says, though not frosty, but still feels cold around here. And definitely having some cold, especially in the mornings.
I hear you. Yeah, thanks, Donna. Thanks, Dolphy. We've had some heavy fog here in San Diego. Man, it was like 300 feet of visibility, and that was it. And the beach was really heavy yesterday. The sun set at like 4 o'clock because the fog, the marine layer was so dense. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, so definitely getting into the colder times of year, less time to exercise outside, right? And that's typically a big factor. It's a typical tip that I give during my fitness coaching incentive sessions is just to bring a little flashlight so you feel a little bit safer outside and you can see any wild animals that may be out there. Don't want to run into any coyotes or surprise them by accident. All right. So break it up. Throughout the holidays, you may not be able to do your full 1 hour workouts, but maybe you shoot for one of my 7-minute workouts. That was also on the New York Times. So check that out. It's on our YouTube page. And a good recommended goal by the American College of Sports Medicine is to get 150 minutes of moderate exercise weekly. If you're doing more intensive exercise, then 75 minutes per week or 3 half-an-hour workouts or 25-minute workouts are pretty good. If your calendar is full, scatter your shorter bursts of activity throughout the day. And that might mean, doing a little run while you're walking your dog or carrying ladybug overhead, right, Donna, while you're doing your walk. Or or for Zofia, maybe you got Onyx and you're trying to catch him because I'm sure he's pretty fast, so you're chasing him around the dog park. That would be a good intermittent or like short burst kind of activity. So just a couple of quick ideas for you. All right, moving on. So I'd like anyone's feedback here if you have any traditions around the holidays that you do that are physical. I think Donna and Zofia have a story to share or traditions that they share on a regular basis. Your favorite holiday memories may include baking cookies or watching football. Start a new family tradition that includes fitness, and you'll be benefiting your health and relationships at the same time. So while Donna's sharing her story, maybe you could just brainstorm 3 ideas to present to your family. It could be the same as what Donna or Zofia tell us about now.
And we do have a quick question here from Tina. She's wondering, how long should the strength training be 2 times a week?
Great question. Yeah. So just to maintain muscle strength, you want to do 5 sets per week per muscle group. So if you're trying to keep your legs strong, that would mean 5 sets of squats, 1 time a week, or 3 sets one day and 2 sets another day. And a good way to hit each muscle group is to do compound exercises. So you could do a push exercise like a push-up or the bench press. You could do a pull exercise like a seated row or a pull down or a pull-up. You could do a squat, a lunge, or a deadlift, and you get your single leg exercise, your squat exercise, and your bending exercise being the deadlift. So you're getting that hip hinge movement, and some core would be good too. So really 6 or 7 exercises is good for just general strength. And if you're doing them 2 times per week, you're going to shoot for 2 to 3 sets each time. And your repetition range depends on what your goal is. If you want strength, it's lower and heavier weights like 5, 6, 7 reps. If it's more muscle endurance, say you're a long distance runner, it's higher, like 15, 20, 30, 50 reps. If it's just toning, it's like 8, 10, 12 reps with pretty moderate to heavy weights. Great question. Thanks, Tina. I know that was a lot. But yeah, I think Z mentioned push and pull exercises to balance the body. So if you're doing any kind of push-up, a good idea would be to balance it out doing like a pull or a letter T, squeezing your shoulder blades, any kind of scaption or squeezing your shoulder blades, trying to get the lats involved. Cool. Donna or Zofia, do you guys want to share your story about your traditions?
Yeah, Donna, you want to go? Or do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Sure. So one of our family traditions is playing bocce outside. So if you know what bocce ball is, it's actually what's in the photograph that Ryan's sharing right now on his slide. Funnily enough, that's something that was introduced to my family when my mom remarried my stepfather, who is an Italian and part of his family's Italian tradition is to play bocce. Growing up, my grandfather always had in his backyard horseshoe stakes. So we would toss horseshoes either pre-dinner, post-dinner. And then I recently introduced to my niece and nephews a couple of years back, I bought them some dirty but not dangerous lightsabers. And so lightsaber battles or lightsaber tag in the backyard has been really popular over the last couple of years. It's fun to hear kids outside saying, "You didn't touch me, I used the force," introducing them at a young age to the canon of Star Wars. So that's what's going on in my household.
That's awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun, and anybody could do it, right? As you can see in the picture
Anybody
here.
can do it. Yeah.
You got a lady in a chair. She's still able to play bocce, so keep that in mind. I've got a 5-year-old daughter and I've got a 70-year-old mother-in-law. I want everyone to be able to be involved. So try to pick activity just like Donna mentioned: bocce ball, horseshoes, lightsabers. Anybody could do that, and a ton of fun. Nice.
Yeah, that is really fun. For us, I'm from Hungary originally, and we don't have Thanksgiving in Hungary. So when we moved here, that was a new tradition for me to start to get used to. And what we've developed over the years is we always go, or at least for the past 6 years, we have gone over to my best friend's house, and her mom comes down. We start cooking in the morning, and everyone's kind of busy in the kitchen. And then once everything is doing what it's supposed to, we head out to the beach and we take a really long beach walk. And it's really nice because we usually make it a point to take our shoes off. And even though that's cold, that's probably the coldest I'll endure in that time is digging your feet in the sand. Feels really good to kind of get off the couch and moving. And then the boys have made it a point to go dip in the ocean no matter how cold it is. And for them, it's honestly the colder, the better, because then they're egging each other on. So then the boys go take a dip while the girls take all the pictures. And then they come back in. And then by the time the walk is over and they're pretty ready to head back. So then we go home, and then really we just sit around and watch football for the rest of the day. And then after dinner, which we eat pretty early, we usually eat around, we try to have dinner ready by 5 o'clock. So then everyone can have another round if we still need to. And then we make it a point to go. Now we have dogs, and so we take the pups for a long walk too. So we try to get at least 2 walks in the day. So it's not super, it's nothing crazy, definitely not like a sculpt class, but we do get that movement and outside time, and no matter how cold, to get that fresh air. And it does feel really good with even being chilly.
That's great. I bet that's good recovery exercise for you. You're always training pretty intensely. It
Yeah,
probably feels good just to get your feet on the ground and
totally.
be outside.
It feels so
daylight.
good. And then after it takes me another day while I digest everything we ate that day, and then getting back into the workout, I feel really strong.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, it's energizing, right? Lifts the spirit a little bit. Cool. Sweet. Anybody have any traditions that they'd like to share that's interesting? I used to do some ping pong in the basement after eating a big meal, so that was kind of a nice way to just, move and get the hand-eye coordination going, and different from sports like football or baseball, where it's bigger, more powerful movements. This is more like fine motor skills, using the wrist and the hand, and really a fast game, but a lot of fun. And we'd also do some bowling. I think Patrick used to do some bowling too, or he still goes bowling, to just kind of get the whole family up and move a little bit. Cool. All right, we'll move on.
I just shared my what we do. We've started making ramen.
Oh, wow.
Very, very different from Thanksgiving typical dinner. I think our family, we tried once and we were like, okay, we can't really digest so much of heavy food. So
do you make the noodles from scratch?
No, okay, no, that's too much work.
I wouldn't be surprised. She makes amazing bread, guys. She makes amazing sourdough bread.
No, so yeah, bread, thanks. Yeah, that's from scratch, definitely. But noodles, no. But we just, kids love it, and it's healthy, and we put lots of veggies and chicken, and it's good. So that's our trick.
That's great. Yeah, that's hands-on. Everybody's up and standing and moving around and chopping and prepping the food and stuff. Right. That's great, Ava. Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Thanks.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like acknowledging that, your family tradition can be even just a change in the menu, right? Like your tradition can be your own as far as the menu is concerned. I went plant-based as an, to change my diet over a year and a half ago. And so now we do like a hybrid in my family where, I have my vegan meal, parts of the meal that I eat, and then I add things to it. And then, my husband and the rest of the family want to still eat turkey. So that can also be part of it too. Like changing up the menu or trying a different menu can be a component of your family tradition too. Just seeing how you feel your body, not just how you move your body.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great tip, Donna. I like it. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with trying something a little bit different. Say you did a broccoli casserole with a ton of cheese and, I don't know, breadcrumbs for years. Now maybe you want to switch it up and do like a steamed broccoli with garlic and, make it a little bit healthier. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But traditions are a great thing. They especially with food, it gives us some good memories. On to the next topic, we got participate in a holiday-themed fitness activity. So turkey trots are a great one, and I listed 4 of them here. I think the Silicon Valley one is a virtual. Is that right, Donna? Is that by you, Santa Clara?
I think it's virtual. I think it was virtual last year. I think it's virtual again this year. But that just means that you can make it a goal of mileage with your family in your neighborhood, or if you have, someone chatted in that they like to go hiking around the park or a lake. If you can be tracking your mileage, you can still be participating, which is kind of nice for people who maybe can't always go to a specific location or it's not convenient for their day or their visitors. So.
Right. And, it is called the trot, so don't feel like you have to run or sprint the whole thing. Just getting out and doing 3 miles is a great way to feel good. Maybe meet some people if you're comfortable with it, and, to get outside. But super casual, great fun race. If you've never tried it, I encourage you to try it or to schedule one. Check out one of the websites attached here. If you have any other good turkey trots in mind, feel free to add them to the chat. Cool. All right, so here's our group fitness schedule attached, our Zoom schedule. You can see Zophia's there on Tuesday and Thursday. She teaches Yoga Tuesday and Fitness Fusion, and then Thursday, Sculpt Fusion. In the new year, we're planning on expanding our schedule to have to continue some Zoom classes and to also add some in-person classes as well here in San Diego. So keep an eye out for that schedule. Donna will be sure to update that via email, and we'll post them in the gyms once we're cleared to go back on campus. Jess teaches the sports conditioning Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8. I teach on Wednesday at 11:30. Patrick teaches Monday at 11:30, and Zulia teaches Zumba there on Wednesday and Bali X on Monday. So check out our classes. Feel free to just drop right in. You don't have to register. And also feel free to send us an email about fitness coaching and personal training incentives for the next calendar year.
We've got a question from Katie asking if we'll do Zoom during the in-person classes.
Good question. I don't think we're cleared to do that from our headquarters yet for whatever reason. I think it was because of
I think it has to do with the liability of people.
Yes.
Yeah, people in class not necessarily wanting to be on camera.
Be on camera.
So
exactly.
and
Thanks,
also, yeah, having appropriate filming technology to do that live while we're teaching in person as well is not likely to be an option. But we are still
it is on the radar.
We are still sorting out what is going to be offered virtually and what the hybridization is going to be. Those are being discussed. So trust that's all in conversation for when we go back, what it will look like when we're in person, how much we can still continue to offer virtually. We obviously still want to be able to offer the well-being sessions to meet your for the incentive that's going on, and that's something that we're offering company-wide, not just site-specific. And I think that there is this discussion is around what can we continue to offer company-wide, not just site-specific. So please feel free to share those questions and feedback with us so that we can roll them up to the people in the room making the decisions, and trust that we will absolutely share that information with you as soon as we're able to.
Yeah, thanks
Hey,
for the
Donna,
question, Katie.
is the gym in Santa Clara under construction now for?
Not yet. And
Okay.
it was supposed to be last month. We were supposed to be getting our floor done, but I never sent anything out saying that it was closed. So it is, to my knowledge and my understanding and my information, is that it is still open and is not likely going to change until after Thanksgiving. And then there's kind of a big question mark as to whether or not our flooring and new equipment are coming in, and whether or not the building B may also begin its renovations. So all of that information will be coming, I'm sure. I'm just as anxious to have those answers as you are. So I'll be sharing those as soon as I can.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, we're excited for your remodel. That's very exciting for a Santa Clara
Yes.
location. That's going to be awesome.
That will be exciting. So yay. Good. All good things coming.
Yeah. If you guys have any more questions, we'd be happy to do our best to answer. Thanks for coming today. Quick reminder to just take a day off if you need it, but try not to take the whole holiday season off. Like I said, I've made that mistake before where just 2 weeks can make it feel like, oof, it's been really tough getting back into it. But as long as you stick to at least one exercise session per week, you should be able to maintain 2 to 3 sessions per week. You should be able to improve your fitness a little bit. So yeah. Thanks a lot for coming. We will have our next one, I think, again in 2 weeks. Is that right, Sophia? Or is that me?
That's Sophia. She's doing the
That's
next
Sophia.
one.
Yeah. Thanks, Donna.
No problem.
Yes. Sorry, guys, I was on mute. Yes, it'll be me.
Ah, sweet. All right,
And-
very exciting.
And we will have today's recording probably up today, Ryan.
Yeah.
And certainly the
Yeah.
link will go out next Friday for anyone who doesn't want to have to search for it on the YouTube page. It's just a matter of getting it edited and uploaded. And Ryan is the one who does that. So you can always be thankful to him. He does a great job with that.
Yeah, I should be able to get it to you very shortly. Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us today.